Ladies and gentlemen, we are live for episode 112.
112, help me sing.
Clash of the podcast. This is a special episode. We're going to be talking a little TNA Bound for Glory. We've got tributes, we got news, we've got perspectives, we've got product placement. We've got it all. It's basically what I'm here to tell you guys. I don't think there's really much else to say. We'll get into this and we'll do our thing.
Because on the opposite side of this intro, we have a little bit of a somber moment. I'm going to keep it real light and say, Conrad, drop that thing.
We want to open up our condolences to the family and friends of Joe Koff from Ring of Honor Wrestling. We'll take a brief pause, and then I do want to say some things about Joe Koff for a second here. All right, everybody. If you've ever been to a Ring of Honor show, you have probably met Joe Koff. I've met him on a couple of occasions at shows when it was like the New Japan Ring of Honor shows and hybrid times. This was after the Sinclair era had begun. He's the reason that era begun. He might be the reason that there's an AEW today. Right. His ideas and lineage will go all the way back to then. I don't know if people know this, but Ring of Honor was going to shut down randomly, Sean. If you remember, Bryan Danielson and Nigel McGuinness were both signed, and the rumor was they were both going to WWE. They had the show, I believe it was Supercard of Honor 8, if I'm not mistaken. Matt Lopez will correct me in the chat, I know. It was called The Final Countdown. The plan was, and this is from people who had heard, I believe it was Mike Johnson from PW Insider. He had said that they were going to open up the show, go out there, put on the show, and then at the end of the show, they were going to come out and say, guys, thank you so much for supporting Ring of Honor. We've had a wonderful time entertaining you. Thank you guys so much. This is the last show that we're going to do. Good night, everybody. Get home safe. That was it, because Kerry Silkin said he couldn't really afford it anymore.
Right.
They get a last-second phone call from some people who put people in touch with other people. The dominoes lined up perfectly. And think about this. This all goes back to maybe AEW wouldn't exist today.
Yep.
Jim Cornette gets fired from TNA. He leaves. He's like, hey, I got an idea. I'd like to still get into this wrestling thing. I'm still trying to do some work. Hold off on selling this, Kerry Silkin, and I'll find you an investor. Lo and behold, in comes Joe Koff on behalf of Sinclair, which is like the Fox affiliate. I don't know if that's how you guys watch Ring of Honor in New York City, but that's how we watched it over here. And boom, Joe Koff was out there. He was in the streets. And he was like, you know what? I like pro wrestling, and we're definitely going to do something with this. And I was like, okay, dope, cool. I can respect that. And they just went in. He allowed Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, got the relationship with New Japan when TNA messed it up. Messed up Okada, and then Okada came back, became the biggest star, and went to New Japan, and then helped Ring of Honor. They ran that show in Madison Square Garden. Like, people forget, like, all the things Ring of Honor did, even after the fact. Was it their best
monumental stuff?
Yeah, was it their best product? No, but it was good times. Those DVDs weren't selling anymore, and Sinclair saved the day. They did not fire anybody when the pandemic happened. They did not just come out here and do whatever they wanted to do. So much respect to Joe Koff. Shook his hand many of times. He actually saw my EPW shirt, and I was wearing it with like Rob. A bunch of people went to the show with me, and everyone had on the EPW shirt. He's like, guys, I like the shirts. And I was like, Joe Koff, how you doing, sir? How you doing? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to prove something here. If I can cover it up, I have business cards from people who worked for Ring of Honor. That was Gary Juster, who was also a big part in a lot of this, who worked for WCW. And I met some of those guys, and they were very, very nice. And I don't know if Gary Juster might have been blowing smoke, but he was like, "Hey, kid, I like you a lot, man. If you ever want to get in the business or something, give me a call." And it was one of those, yeah. And I was just like,
"Did you call him?"
Yes. No, nothing happened.
Okay.
That's why I was like, it's one of those, come on. But it was very cool. So I just wanted to give Joe Koff his grace and his glory. Anything that you want to add to it, Sean?
Well, I mean, obviously the gentleman is revered for his, contributions to the pro wrestling industry. It seems like our soldiers in the wrestling community continue to go. We know that we're not here forever. It's another staple of the wrestling community that goes on to the next stage. Condolences to his family, and rest in peace.
That is all that you could say for a lot of this. Let's get into the chat here and just give some quick shout outs to people who are in the house. We got Clown in the house joining us. Appreciate you, Clown.
Cleasy.
Ray Thompson in the house. Happy Monday, everyone. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Pumped for BFG and Halloween Havoc this week.
RTZ.
Vikingo and Bailey may steal the show. We're going to be talking about it. Quilly, Sean, you want this one? Go ahead.
Absolutely. Quilly says, "What's up, Conrad, Sean, and chat? Your boy Quills is fresh off work to enjoy two of my favorite bros, CJ and Hubbs, for the episode Club 112, the Bad Boy edition of Clash of the By God podcast. Hashtag EPW, hashtag HWW. All I got to say is, I need to know where we stand. Do we share this special thing called love?" There we go.
I told you that we won't stop.
There you go. I actually can sing a little bit, y'all, so don't get me started. But anyway, big shout out to Quilly. He continues by saying, "What a great day to start your Monday with the JR and King, of the wrestling podcast, Conrad By God Cushman and Sean By God Hubbard. Clash, hashtag Snap Famous, hashtag what a revolutionary idea." Quote, we appreciate you, man.
Yo, big shout out to Joe Compton sending in a $5 super chat. Thank you. He wanted
the new name for Joe Compton, Joe West Coast. What up, though?
Joe West Coast. R.I.P. Joe Koff, a legend gone too soon. Samantha Irvin, go crush it wherever your future takes you. A very emotional, shocking day for a wrestling fan. It has been. It's been.
Big shout out to Joe West Coast. I think it's fairly obvious where Samantha Irvin's going to end up. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out, but I'm happy for her.
I'm not sold on that yet, but we'll get into
Really?
that.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I have to let you continue.
The only Vinny we like. He says, "Happy Monday. God bless y'all. Hope the wrestling community is safe. All love and blessings." All love and blessings to you, Vinny. God bless you and the family. Respect.
Shout out to Vinny, man. Make sure you check out his pod. Vinny, feel free to throw the name in the chat. I'm not going to time you out or anything. Don't put a link, but put your name in there. Joel's in the house. He said, "Hey, guys." Hey, Joel.
What up, Joel?
Sean was holding it down for me here. You see, good guy right here. Got to give himself the old Barry Horowitz. Come on, one time for me. Give yourself the Barry. Yeah. Yeah. XG Dub in the house was good.
XG Wheezy.
Wheezy. Throwing this on while I'm at work, but I had to come in and show respect, bros. All good, man. Thank you for listening and putting us on. Joe Compton says, "What up, EPW family? I hope the best for Samantha Irvin. WWE truly lost a legend here. Good luck to whoever tries to replace her."
That's a physact.
Word up.
She was on the verge of being like Howard Finkel status, bro.
I'm not going to argue that at all. Deanna's here.
Deanna in the building.
Representing the ladies in the chat. Appreciate you, Deanna. She said,
"All my single ladies," not sure if you're single, but all my single ladies, all involved ladies, all the involved ladies.
She says, "Hi, everyone. Let's clash." I like that. I like that.
And you know what else Deanna said? "Up in the club, just woke up, doing my own little thing."
Oh, this man is wildin'. Doug in the house. He made sure he was on time.
Hey, when I step in the club, they be like, "Smooth. What? Can you teach me how to Dougie?" Hey, you know why? Because all the chicks love me. Hey. M. Leezy Fo Sheezy. Hello, good evening. Hope everyone had a good weekend. And let's kick it off right this week, that is, with the two aces of our pro wrestling community. God bless you, man. Appreciate you, Emleezy, not only here, but on social media. You are a good guy, my man.
Multiple shout outs for us.
Appreciate you.
McKinney, he said, yo, I'm here to talk wrestle with the Fire Live chat and the Triple B's, Big Bad Brothers of Podcast Clash of the Podcast. And to let y'all know, you can as soon as you let go of you can't. 100%. Let's freaking go. Appreciate you,
McKinney. Thank you, sir. Thank you, OG. Appreciate you.
My guy James from the Pro Wrestler Shoots in the house. Pro Wrestler Shoots going to be live tomorrow. If not, someone better correct me. But they go live on Tuesdays. That's where I am usually instead of NXT. Sometimes I got NXT on, but with it. But Pro Wrestler Shoots #1. So the question for Hubs: Dodgers or Yankees? You know who I'm running with.
Well, I mean, I'm going to assume, because James has been nothing but respectful and kind to me, that he's not trolling me right now. I'm going to believe he's not trolling me. I'm going to believe he's not. I don't see any LOLs or smiley faces or winky faces, so I'm going to believe he's not trolling me, which means I believe he's asking a genuine question. Out of respect, you know what? I don't have to even sugarcoat this, man. I'm going to be real. Out of respect and appreciation for my dad, out of respect and appreciation for my friend Conrad Cushman, I will say that I hope the Yankees win, but I think those Dodgers are a juggernaut, man. I mean, what they did to us, when I say us, anybody who doesn't know, I'm a Met fan. I mean, we're fortunate that we didn't get humiliated. We won 2 games, so I'm really proud of us for that. They were just the better team. I think they're the best team in baseball, but as you can see by the run that the Mets went on, beating the Brewers, beating the Phillies, the best team doesn't always win. So I will leave it at that. I hope the Yankees win for the sake of my brother here, Conrad, and my dad, and my girl's dad. But, oh, man, those Dodgers are going to be tough to beat.
Facts. BJ's in the house. Whoop, whoop. How's everyone doing? What's good, Beach? Appreciate you. Matt bringing up Maple Leaf Wrestling. We're going to be talking about that real quick for a second. Killed it this past weekend, man. Triller was on fire the last 2 days for some pro wrestling, man. Kanoski Speedball was amazing, and so was Athena versus Giselle. Loved it. Guy Will Gamble's in the house. Ain't Europe. Happy Monday, everyone. Peace. Appreciate you. Sky's the limit for this episode. I see you. I see what you did there.
I like that, Guy Will Gamble.
Mets had a heck of a run. There's always next year. Let's go Yankees, and congratulations to the New York Liberty. New York doing big things.
That's a fact. Listen, a little bit of fun fact for those people who are not really New York sports fans. The New York Liberty just brought the city of New York its first professional basketball championship since the 1976 ABA New York Nets, which was the superstar known as Dr. Julius Irvin. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. The New York Liberty has brought the city of New York its first professional basketball championship in over 3 decades. We're talking about the Nets back in 1976. We're talking about the Knicks, my team that starts their championship run hopefully tomorrow, 1973. So the New York Liberty has brought a basketball championship to this city for the first time in, help me with the math, 48 years. Oh my God, 48 years. Unbelievable.
Spend some time, man. Spend some time. And I'm not going to lie, I'm liking how the Knicks are looking too.
We're looking good, but you know what always happens to the Knicks. I love my team. I think the Knicks are going to probably be a 2 or 3 seed. They're going to win 1 round of the playoffs, and then somebody's going to – but maybe this is the year. I just got heartbroken last night by the Mets, so I'm trying to keep an even – I mean, before basketball season starts tomorrow, I'm trying to take a deep breath, Conrad.
Right? Connor's in the house. What up, Conrad Sean? Yankees and the Dodgers in the World Series. I'm rooting for the Meteor. Wow.
That is – wow. Oh, boy.
Harsh. Anthony Slate says, hey, guys, what's good, Anthony? Thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate you.
R.I.P. to Joe Koff, the man that saved ROH twice. I met him a few times at Hammerstein. Very good guy. Yeah, from the short time I talked to him, always seemed like a nice person. If it's true that Samantha Irvin is leaving, it is true, Quills. We'll get into that momentarily. Jocelyn watching on Twitch with us Monday evening. Every Monday evening watching Clash of the Podcast is the right way to start out the week. Forgot I downloaded Twitch again. Hey,
I want to say this right quick. I'm on my female empowerment, swag right now. I hope, and I mean this, and I look, Conrad. Do I really need to say that I think the world of Samantha Irvin? Do I really need to say it out loud?
We've said it before.
I hope she's not leaving just because she wants to be with her man. And I love love. I love love. Let me tell you something. I love love. I love black love. I love love in general. But you would think that they've had many conversations and it was understood that Samantha Irvin was on her way to superstardom. I would hope that she didn't forfeit that for her relationship. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I have thoughts. We'll get into it.
Okay.
I'm saving it. I'm saving for my deep combo.
Is my commentary fair?
I don't think anyone would just leave for their partner only.
Okay.
In that situation, because they're fiance, right?
They're together on
I promise y'all, I never try to get super deep into people's relationships because that's the one thing where I'm like, it's not our business as wrestling fans. But
right. And I'm not going there for the sake of the relationship. I'm just saying I would think, and Ricochet doesn't come across as that kind of guy either. I would think that they would have had a conversation. Hey, Ricochet, what's Ricochet's real name?
Rick.
Yeah, let's just say Rick for the sake of this. Rick, Samantha, we love each other. You do your thing. I'll do my thing, we'll figure this thing out. But if Samantha just was like, you know what, I'm gonna leave WWE because my man's not here, it's kind of like, ooh, are we sure? I hope it's on the up and up.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll share my deep thoughts in a second. Glory by Honor 8, yes, they were going to shut down ROH after the show. If Jim Cornette wasn't fired, told Kerry to hold off, I don't think we would have had strong years of ROH. Yeah, they had to definitely change it up. People are excited about the World Series. Jocelyn said, I started watching ROH when Cody and the Koff Bucks were on. It was late, really early mornings on the weekends here in Indianapolis. Yeah, sometimes it would be on when I was working a job where I had the overnight shift. If Joe Koff didn't save ROH, I don't think AEW would be here. I don't think New Japan would have American exposure or have guys like Zayn, Rollins, Owens, and top names now. Yeah, you're not wrong, I don't think, in saying that. McKinney says, episode 112, Peaches and Cream, Cupid, favorite 112 song.
I like that, McKinney. I like that. I would have to go with Only You remix.
Me too. Biggie and Mace's verse crushed it on it. I thought 112 crushed it. Yeah. I'll even throw Dance With Me in there for people.
There you go. My R&B brother didn't know you had it in you.
Oh, yeah. I listen to a little bit of everything. You'd be surprised.
Okay.
You'd be surprised. Mike in the house was good.
EPW.
I'm jumping quickly through this, guys. I'm sorry. I see a lot of great comments. I'm reading them, though. Which one is Lawler? What's good, Rob?
First of all, which one is Lawler between me and Con? I would probably be Lawler. I'd probably be the one to talk about puppies, and I'd probably be the one making the jokes.
Yeah, I'll be good old JR. That's fine.
Yeah, I can
sauce it.
Not that you couldn't be Lawler if you wanted to be, because I have talked to you off the air. You have a little Lawler in you. There's no question about that.
Laughing constantly over the microphone. One of my favorite clips between them is on a random episode of Raw. I think Deadlock Podcast had posted it, where it was about Blackula. If you've never seen it, just go look at it. Who's your favorite superhero, JR? I don't know. Blackula. Favorite black superhero. He was like, Blackula. And he just kept saying it. Lawler would not let it go. He was like, Shaft.
Hilarious.
Just foolishness with D'Lo Brown in the ring going up against Hurricane, if you want to know the match.
From Helsinki, Finland.
All right. Ricochet said no, she's not going over 20 minutes ago. Okay. All right, there's an update. Jesse Pro Wrestler Shoots in the house. What's good?
What up, Jesse?
People shouting out the Liberty, shouting out New York. I love it. Vinny, I'm just seeing Ricochet confirm she's not going to AEW. Nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
She doesn't have to. Boom. Shockwave, I see people are talking about. I want to hear Conrad's JR voice for the Skittles ad. Skittles, Backlash, taste the rainbow. Taste the rainbow and get some Castro GTX.
Pinata.
No,
Pinata.
now that was wrong what they were doing to JR there. Who played him? Who was the writer with Russo?
I think Ferreira.
Ed Ferreira, yeah. Ferrara, whatever his name was.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, jerk. That was messed
up. He was
up.
A jerk, but he was a jerk, but it was funny. It was wrong, but it was funny.
Boo! I didn't like it when they were doing that. I was like,
you guys see that halo over Conrad's head? Don't let the light of the halo.
Listen, I am Captain Rude Humor all day, but that barbecue sauce is getting done. What is this?
It was OD, but that's another reason why WCW went out of business.
Yeah, at that point, don't forget your lugs. Yes, Funkmaster Flex Slam of the Week.
Mm-hmm.
You guys mean Oklahoma, a former champion? Oh, goodness.
JVC Kaboom Box.
Listen, MLP, if you guys didn't get a chance to check Forged in Excellence, they had great shows on Saturday and Sunday. I watched via the bundle on Triller TV. It was great. Great matchups here. Night one had a banger with Mike Bailey, Konosuke Takeshita. That was my favorite match on the card. I don't know what you thought, Sean, but I love that one, and I love the trios opener. I thought was fun, and Sean was really putting me down. So we had private conversations about that IWGP tag title match that's down there.
Yeah. That was my match of the weekend. Honestly, I really was impressed by the tag title match, and I was hopeful something special would happen, and it did. It was a good match.
Yeah, and Giselle Shaw, Yamashita, like, who's gonna say no? Like, who's gonna say something bad about that all day?
There's something about that girl, yo. Like Giselle Shaw, I can't put my finger on it. There's something superstar about. I just haven't been able to put my finger on what it is. Obviously, she's attractive. She's a great athlete. She's very smart in the ring. But it's like I can't just put the X factor on why I think she's gonna be a major star. But I really do.
I think TNA had something there, and that's who I thought would be next up after Grace.
Okay.
But we'll get into that in the upcoming weeks because you guys are going to say, look into my crystal ball again, I think, in the future.
And speaking of the upcoming weeks, make sure programming note, next Tuesday we're on the air for the Clash because next Monday we'll be off the air, but we are going to continue what will be 113 consecutive weeks. We're not going to miss a week. We're just going to be on a different day, 1 week only, next week, Tuesday.
Shall be fun.
Yes.
We had more matches on night two. I love Konosuke Takeshita, Josh Alexander. So much fun. People that mentioned Athena versus Giselle Shaw. Raj Desi, formerly known as Jinder Mahal, taking on Bully Ray, QT Marshall. We had a lot of stuff. Mike Bailey versus ELP. There was a six-way in there. Trevor Lee was in there. Stu Grayson, Sheldon Jean, Mike Rollins. I believe they called him Psycho Mike. Jake something. Alex Zane. Shout out to him. Big fan of tacos and hot sauce. Make sure you send him some love if you see him traveling across seas. Right. Laney Luck and Harley Cameron versus Kylie Ray and Yamashita. Fun again. Classy Ali. I like that match too. That was kind of a sleeper. And lots of fun. The Jet Setters and Aiden Prince going up against Rohan Raja, Rocky Romero, and Rohit Raju. Miss Rohit, man. Good for him.
There's something really exciting about independent pro wrestling, and technically it's not independent. It's a company, but it's something really impressive and exciting about wrestling on this level. I mean, it's gritty. It's hardcore. It's raw. No pun intended. I love it. I absolutely love it, and I really appreciate the show. I mean, a weekend of wrestling when the major companies were not performing. I'm so thrilled about that. And I promise you, the in-ring action that you saw over the past weekend on Triller TV, courtesy of MLP, will probably be better than anything you see in Saudi Arabia.
Let me say this. That show was TNA levels for an independent show, which is amazing. I just want people to know that, number one. That's very tough to come by. And also, Mauro Ranallo on commentary. And even Don Callis. Don Callis, I hate to give credit to, so that's going to end his credit for the rest of this. But Mauro Ranallo, excellent. I miss Mauro. I don't know if you were a fan of his commentary. I know you probably love him for boxing and MMA, but
yeah, I mean, I think Mauro Ranallo is a national treasure for his work that he does across all platforms. And I'll be honest with you, the color guy wasn't that bad. I love a heel color guy.
Freaking Don.
I mean,
The
he's
Don
annoying,
Catalyst.
but isn't he doing his job? I love a heel guy I love a heel color commentator. I love it.
I could tell he studied a lot of great AWA managers, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of that in it.
Facts.
Someone who had a big brain, we'll just say.
Absolutely, 100%, and blonde hair.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get to the main focus of this show. Bound for Glory, October. It is happening. Wayne State University Fieldhouse. It's happening. Those pre-sale tickets, we covered it. How can you watch this show? It is going to be available on Triller TV. If you guys want to watch, I believe it's also available on that TNA app. For people who are watching, I'll be watching via Triller, as will Sean. First, let's give it up to this year's Hall of Fame inductions. Sean, I'll let you start off here about Rhino.
For those of you who remember ECW, he was a TV champion when that company unfortunately went out of business, but he made his debut, became hardcore champion, United States champion, tag team champion in WWE. I think he made a wonderful first impression at WrestleMania 17 when he interfered in the TLC 2 match with the Hardys, Dudleys, and Edge and Christian. I've always been a big fan of this guy. Obviously, his work has dwindled a little bit, but that comes with age. But he has been a tremendous competitor, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion as well, a mainstay in World Wrestling Entertainment, a mainstay in TNA Wrestling, and has a career that I believe warrants a Hall of Fame induction into TNA Wrestling. I think his career warrants a induction into the WWE Hall of Fame as well. Might be one of those non-first ballot type guys. He's not like a home run guy to get into the Hall of Fame, but I think what he's done has been significant to the business, and I'm really happy for him.
Right.
And I'm happy that my computer seems to be working this week.
Absolutely. I don't think it was you. I think it was... Well, there were two things I heard. I heard there was something with New York City because there were a bunch of computers that I saw people from New York who do podcasts and stuff that I listen to all messed up with StreamYard. But I also think it might have been StreamYard because there were a lot of issues. So I don't know who to blame, but I'm just going to say it wasn't your fault. We're going to give you the credit for that.
Thank you, brother.
I love people putting Moro over in the chat. I love the Rhino talk as well. Yeah, Rhino is a classic to me. I'll always remember him goring Chris Jericho through the Titantron that ended the cool SmackDown Titantron. I thought that SmackDown Titantron was so cool until he did that. I was like, wait a minute. It's just like a projector behind this? That's all this was?
All it is. Right.
Trash, bro. I thought it was so cool. And I was like, But that led to, didn't we get the fifth set not too long after that?
Yes, sir. Yes,
can't
sir.
be
Right
upset
on the money.
with that. Like you said, ECW, he was the last world champ too, wasn't he?
He was a world champion and TV champion as well.
Yeah, I'll never forget him. He pile drove, I think, Sandman's wife through a table. Rhino was a beast back then. Really good stuff. Look at Clown right on it. Last ECW world champion too. Rhino is underrated, really, people said. Yes. And I'm going to bring up that point right after this. Let's give credit also to Bob Ryder, who is going to be going into the Hall of Fame. Bob Ryder has played a significant role in the background of a lot of pro wrestling. Congratulations to him. Earned, man. Earned.
100%. Big shout out to him. One of these guys that pull the strings in a good way to make sure that we get a good product. TNA, people don't really always understand that the TNA you see right now is only the most recent incarnation. TNA Retro, I like to call it. We're talking about 2005, 6, 7, 10 was a really quality product, which Bob Ryder had a lot to do with. So big shout out to him. Much deserved.
Absolutely. I see McKinney putting over Black and Gold. Moro was the voice. Yeah.
I want to say something too that you're going to think I'm being mean about, but I really mean it in the most complimentary way.
What?
I love Moronell's hair job. And I mean this genuinely. Like, there are so many people that get hair plugs and it does not work. That brother looks good. So shout out to Moronello and where he ever got his hair plugs from, because I kid you not, I would never think he was going bald, but he looks good, and I'm happy that he did so. And I'm talking about this because he had an interview about this where he talked about how he did that for himself because he wanted to better himself. And to me, anything you want to do to better yourself, I salute you. I've never seen a hair, what's the word I'm looking for, operation or whatever you want to call it, procedure that came out. That brother looks good, and I'm happy that he's happy.
Absolutely.
So I think I was going to be mean. I wasn't being mean.
No, you were fair.
Yeah.
You were fair. Yeah. Monty Brown. TNA wanted Monty Brown for the Hall of Fame, but could not get in contact with him, according to the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy podcast.
Right. Conrad. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Such potential was there, man. Such potential. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say either. I mean, the context of, quote, not being able to get in contact with him leaves a lot of conjecture. Can I say that I hope he's okay?
I think he is okay. I think Monty Brown's fine. I think some people have heard from him. It's just hard to get in contact with him. And I think he's just like, no, I don't really want to do your wrestling show, but I also don't want to be mean and tell you no. So I'm just going to hide away. I know he had a family emergency, and that's why he kind of like disappeared from pro wrestling, is the story I've always heard. But Monty Brown was the man. If you've never seen him hit the pounce, you've missed out a lot. Monty Brown was great.
See this?
That's the rope.
That's the
rope. Former Buffalo Bill as well.
Oh, hush.
My guy.
I'm a Giant fan. More misery.
That's okay. How them Titans doing this week? Let's get into the Bound for Glory card, man. We got Call Your Shot gauntlets. I believe this is on the countdown to Bound for Glory. So this will be your pre-show matchup. The Call Your Shot gauntlet is going to allow people to win. So Sean, they win a trophy, right? And then you get a world title shot whenever it's going to happen. I don't know how you feel about it, but I think the trophy get up looks a little like, if you're going to get a trophy, get a good looking trophy. Like WrestleMania 4 when Bad News Brown and Bret Hart got into it, right?
Right.
That's a good looking trophy, right?
It was. I'm going to put you on blast, Conrad. I'm saying it, and there's certain things need to be said. Conrad just put up the graphic for Bound for Glory, and behind the scenes, he saw me having a whale of a time with my soda bottle, exploding all over my desk, and he kept the Bound for Glory icon up so you would not see me shuffling around like a complete idiot. Conrad, my brother, I appreciate you. Look, there's these battle royals are funny, right? We're not gauntlet. Excuse me. These gauntlets are funny. We always expect a surprise, and sometimes we get shut down or let down. I don't know, man. I mean, it's going to be one of those things where it's like, look, TNA is always under the microscope because TNA always has to hit a home run. So I think this is going to be a trendsetter for the evening. You know what I mean? We got to see how the evening goes based on how this match goes.
I think this is going to play into the main event. I know Kaz is in this, and Deanna has my pick. I think Kaz is winning this.
Okay.
I'll have more on that later as to why I think that, but I got Kaz winning this. I don't know if you have a favorite or.
I don't. I mean, Kaz makes a lot of sense to me, considering his recent character change. Actually, is it recent? Is that fair? I mean, it's not recent
enough.
Right, exactly. I mean, only thing I would question, though it makes sense, I see what Deanna's saying, I see what you're saying, Conrad. Is he worthy of being, and Lizzie too, wow. Is he worthy of being in the main event picture? Because, I mean, he's been better. I'm actually impressed with the character change, but, like, are we at a point where we can look at him as, like, a contender for the world championship?
I say why not?
Okay.
Why not? Yes. He's got a lot of big things popping here. I think he should be able to do with it. Deanna said, I'm going with storyline. That seems to be everyone's favorite words. More on that momentarily. Because
Lord have mercy.
Good topic coming up for that.
Yes, sir.
Sounds like Kaz is the resounding favorite here on Clash of the Podcast.
Yes.
We have the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships on the line. We have Spitfire going up against Rosemary and Wendy Chu. I would like to see a title change, but I don't know if we're going to see one. Maybe.
I'm gonna lend myself to your original thought, Conrad, and I do know why your secondary thought is no, but your original thought or your instinctive thought was yes, and I'm gonna roll with that. I think this makes sense. I think seeing new women's tag team champions, especially with the NXT collaboration, makes a lot of sense. I mean, will WWE and TNA's collaboration on the titles make sense moving forward? Past history would say no, but being hopeful, I think this is actually the right thing to do to give them the titles. I predict the title change.
Okay. I'm gonna go opposite. I'm gonna say that they retain.
Okay.
I think they figure out a way to keep them. I don't know though, but I kind of like this Rosemary Wendy Chu thing, but I'm just like, you guys got to stick together and keep doing it. But if Rosemary and Wendy Chu are going to keep appearing in each other's brands, makes things more interesting.
Well, I'm going to go on record as saying that I never understood the original Wendy Chu,
the sleep
character. I never was able to wrap my head around it, but this is a very refreshing remix to that character.
We have PCO versus Matt Cardona in a Monsters Ball match for both the TNA Digital Media Championship and the International Wrestling Championship. I think we need to merge those titles, and TNA just gets an International Championship and use that for whatever they would like it to be. And yes, this is going to also be presented by the Eye of the Salamander in theaters November 1st. Please feel free to send some money for your free advertisement that you got. Absolutely. Monsters Ball match though, Cardona PCO. I know that there's a little I feel like it lost its juice due to Steph DeLander getting hurt. Mm-hmm. I know it's probably supposed to have love interest behind it. Right. I don't know if she can be super involved in this, but I feel like Cardona wants to leave. I feel like Cardona's ready to get back into the big leagues.
This is the battle of two of my favorite guys in all of Total Nonstop Action. I have a great affection and appreciation for PCO for obvious reasons. Anybody who knows me knows that I was obsessed with the fun that came with the Quebecers back in the 90s. I was totally thrilled when he became world champion in Ring of Honor a couple of years ago. I just hate how they're combining these titles and making them be defended together. I don't like that. I never have. I never will. But for the sake of this conversation, I like that. For the sake of this conversation, I'd have to say that Matt Cardona is going to be victorious. On the Bound for Glory stage, the biggest event of TNA's calendar year, I would think that they want to make a splash, and that would mean that Matt Cardona walks out as champion.
I think that PCO retains. I don't know why. I just think Cardona goes out, and then he's on the verge of trying to get back into the Rumble, trying to get back into AEW. Like I said, he's been talking lately, and I'm like, interesting. Sounds like he wants to get back into the company, but someone's got to want him first.
Right.
I can see him fitting back into WWE. Now, World Championship?
Well, no, but my worry, and let me say this, I gotta say I was wrong about the Motor City Machine Guns. I thought that they would do them dirty for whatever reason. They did not. They debuted on SmackDown, so good for them. You gotta admit, WWE doing the right thing was not on my bingo card, right?
We'll have words
exactly
later for this.
Got more coming. Look out for that. But with that being said, to keep this show on task and on point, I don't want to see this man who's earned this notoriety and gone so far to be so great in the independent or outside of WWE circuit that he goes back to NXT. As long as he returns, if he goes back to WWE, as long as he's on Raw or SmackDown, I am perfectly fine with him returning. Otherwise, I'd rather him go to AEW.
I'm not going to lie. I think the chat's agreeing with you more than me right now. I got Deanna, and I thought I saw someone else who agreed with me about PCO. Maybe it was Matt. I can't remember. No, McKinney. I got PCO, man, but I can't believe it's taken Matt Cardona this long, and he hasn't signed full-time to any company. I think he knows what he wants, but I don't know if they're going to slot him in that spot either.
Look, barring injury, being a free agent is the best thing you could be. Betting on yourself is the best thing you can do, barring injury. I mean, God forbid you go out and rupture your Achilles, wrestling an independent match with no contract, right? But as long as he can stay injury free, being a free agent is the best thing you could be. That's what Brian Pillman did, God rest his soul. That's what Lex Luger did, and that's what Matt Cardona is doing.
Yeah, I can see Cardona holding the world title if it's Matt Cardona and not Zack Ryder. Yeah, but it's hard to get that off you. I don't know. WWE fans are weird to me. I'll say that. Like, if he goes back there, I don't know what they're going to think of him. And if he goes to AEW, I don't know what they're going to think of him either. Because remember, before he became like this king of the indies, Matt Cardona, he went to AEW, and I was not impressed.
Neither was I.
That's the pay-per-view where I said it's one of AEW's weakest, where I was like, ooh, not feeling this. So right. We'll see. I think he deserves a shot somewhere else. I just don't know what his role would be in WWE.
He's got a mountain of momentum right now, but the thing about it is you can have that unravel in one false step.
Real quick. But I think he's matured a lot. So we'll see what happens with Cardona. We have an X Division Championship match. Some would say an X Division Dream match. Mike Bailey versus Vikingo from AAA. This is surely going to be what the wrestling fans call a banger. This should be good. It's
going to be an outstanding match, but it's the only match, I want to go on the record with this, the only match where I feel like the outcome's a foregone conclusion. Mike Bailey will retain. It makes zero sense for him not to retain. All due respect, to his opponent, I think that Vikingo, is very, very talented. But Mike Bailey losing this championship makes no sense at this particular stage of his championship reign. So as great of a 5-star match as I predict this will be, I also predict the outcome is going to be very, very much something that we can see coming a mile away. I think Mike Bailey retains.
I'm in full agreement with you. I do think Speedball wins here. I think his great performance at MLP. Speedball Mike Bailey is someone who I could see people wanting to scoop up as well. Yeah. Also, Vikingo, I'm not going to lie. If I'm TK, I'm definitely going to try and make Carlos mad, and I'm going to take Vikingo as well.
There you
Just
go.
Because you hurt me, I hurt you. There you go. And, yeah, that's business. But I don't know. I don't know what happens here, but I will agree that they get the win. Full Metal Mayhem, which is basically like TLC for them. We have ABC versus the System versus the Hardys. The System are back as the tag team champs. Not sure how I feel about that. I love ABC. Sean, I'm about to say something a little controversial. Chat, you can get on me too. ABC, it's time to split them up. And I'm not saying that because I don't like them as a tag team. I'm saying that because ABC should both be main event single stars at this point in TNA. It's over. Though that's who you need to cash in on in the main event scene. Brother Kush smells trouble a coming for TNA. I'm smelling it. Rock's cooking it up. I smell it. All right? Troubles a coming. You're going to start to see it when we get more down this card. Who is next up? ABC. Do the Hardys get a token reign here, Sean, in your eyes? Like, that's what I feel like is coming from this. Like, climb up, get the belts. Yay, Hardys.
Let me give you your flowers, bro, because you are literally, it's like my mind's thoughts are being read right off my forehead. That's where I'm going. Whether I agree with it or not, doesn't really matter. I 100% believe that this will be a nostalgic moment that TNA will give to the Hardy Boys. Matt and Jeff will become the new tag team champions. Is that right? Is that appropriate? Is it make the best sense for company storyline purposes? No. But everybody loves nostalgia. Everybody loves a good feel-good story. Matt and Jeff are probably a top 5 tag team of all time. They are in TNA during the twilight of their career. This is the WrestleMania of TNA, or as I like to say, Bound for Glory WrestleMania is the Bound for Glory of WWE. The Hardy Boys win. I'm fully convinced of that.
Yeah, this has to be the Hardys winning. ABC should split up. Yeah, I'm predicting the Hardys, not by choice either, y'all. Trust me. Like
by default, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, I'm going to keep it a buck with you guys. Jeff Hardy broke my heart the last time he had an incident, and I've just kind of been over them, and I think everyone else is too.
Let me give you some grace, bro. It's hard not to be fed up. It's hard not to be disappointed. You know what I'm saying? This young man, and I say he's young man, I think he's older than we are. Like, he's in his 40s. This young man has been outstanding, but to think about how he's only scratched the surface of what he could be if he had been able to take care of some things in his life, and he's continuing to still fall short and get chance after chance after chance. This is not standing in judgment. Only God is a judge. I am not a judge, and I'm not God, but I will say that brother needs to get himself together. But in spite of that, he is still going to be in a main event caliber match on a major company's pay-per-view, biggest pay-per-view of the year, and I believe he's going to walk out with gold around his waist.
Yes. I even like McKinney's idea here. ABC is the Motor City Machine Guns, splitting them up from time to time, but always being able to reunite them. Yeah, you don't have to break a tag team up by having someone beat someone down every single time. It doesn't have to be that way.
Everybody doesn't have to go through the barbershop window.
Marty Jannetty ran right through it, too, trying to get away from Shawn Michaels.
Bobby Heenan, rest in peace, baby.
Josh Alexander versus Steve Macklin. I feel like this is kind of the swan song Bound for Glory for Josh Alexander, too.
The only way he loses is if it is his swan song. Otherwise, the walking weapon is victorious.
I think he puts Macklin over. I think Macklin gets the win here.
Well, if that's the case, then I would agree. I mean, I haven't heard the rumors that you've heard. But
I was going to drop something on here. I've heard that there's two main companies interested in the services of Josh Alexander.
Vying for the services?
Yes.
If that's the case, then of course Josh Alexander will do the right thing.
But we don't know if that means today, tomorrow. Maybe he's like, hold out till I can get a little more.
Right.
Who knows?
Right.
It's all a game. This is one that I feel like they could have. This is where remember how I just mentioned that international championship. This is the match I think would help. Right. Moose versus Mike Santana. This is a situation to where Moose has been in TNA, and at this point, I feel like he's going to be Mr. TNA. I don't know if somewhere else is going to be willing to give him a shot. Mm-hmm. Mike Santana, he's trying to come off the rebound. He's a singles wrestler now. Have you been impressed with Mike Santana in TNA thus far? I know he's the House of Glory World Champion as well.
Yeah, see, you took the words out of my mouth again. I think he's fantastic, but I think he's in a weird spot because Moose is Mr. TNA, and we have a situation where, I mean, what's best for business in this match? That's the question. Is Mike Santana walking out, victorious in this match the best for TNA? It will be the best for Mike Santana's career, but Moose is the guy that we agree is not going anywhere. Moose is the guy we agree that's Mr. TNA. So on TNA's greatest stage, would Moose come out the loser? I say no. I say Moose wins.
I think Santana wins because I think Moose is already established. You could always throw him back in the main event. We have to create new main eventers. I'm about to get really sad and cynical for TNA fans here in a second. Okay. When I start saying some of these names, and people are going to be sad, and it'll all make sense momentarily. But I think we have to figure out how to create new stars. Santana, ABC. There are enough people out here that we can do something with these folks. TNA Knockouts Championship, Jordan Grace versus Masha Slamovich. Jordan Grace, I've told y'all, I want my flowers that day. I want nothing but Conrad and Sean called it. Conrad and Derek called it. Conrad and Rob called it. Conrad in the chat called it. Conrad and his mama called it. Jordan Grace is leaving, and she is going to WWE, period. Does that mean it's NXT? It don't matter to me. She's going to WWE. I think Masha Slamovich is the best person that you could put over. When she first got in, she defeated her. I got Masha Slamovich winning it here. I don't know if it's the right time. I know that she may still have a little bit of extra time on there, but I say give it to Masha now.
I think it's hilarious how we have been on the same page halfway, but on the other side, it's weird because it's like we're differing in opinion. This time we agree. I think that Slamovich wins. I think that it makes it, again, it's all about the big stage. This is WWE's Bound for Glory or TNA's WrestleMania, this is the night, right? So major title changes are the flavor of the day. So 100% to me, I think that Jordan loses the title.
Yeah, it's just time. And even if they delay it by a month, whatever.
Right.
Whatever. She already beat Masha. I don't see the point in beating Masha again. That's just me talking. Like, do you need to? Do you need to?
You're talking right.
Yeah. And Deanna said this one's going to be a banger. Masha goes over. So she's going with Masha Slamovich as well. Nick Nemeth, main event time. Nick Nemeth defends the TNA World Championship against Joe Hendry. Kazarian has been announced as the special guest referee. This is why I predicted there's no heel in this match. There is no heat. There is only Nick Nemeth and Joe Hendry, and I respect you, and I respect you too. That can only go but so far.
Well, that's what wrestling history tells us. Absolutely.
Yeah. We need some drama in this, and that's why Frankie Kazarian is in this role. Frankie Kazarian is going to cause the drama, and he is going to start the beef in this, I feel. And if he has that trophy, if they do it the same way, he could cash in and break everyone's heart here. And I think that's been a key for Bound for Glory as well. Heartbreaking. Remember, Josh Alexander finally wins the title. Spear from Moose taking the belt. See you later, bud. Thanks. Have a good night, everybody.
You've convinced me. I believe that's what's going to happen as well. I think that we're going to have a situation where Joe Hendry wins the title and then immediately loses it.
Does it mean more for Joe Hendry to take it from Frankie Kazarian than Nick Nemeth?
No, it doesn't. I think it does more for him to lose it. Similar, this is a Daniel Bryan situation, circa 2014 or 2013 technically. He beats John Cena just to have his moment ripped away. And I'm talking about the whole shebang. Streamers. If they can afford fireworks.
Can I bring up a X Factor in this, though?
Xbox?
JBL. No, not that song. You're dealing with the X Factor. I was going to do the give everything I've got.
Oh, no, that was horrible. Lord have mercy.
What you looking at? Albert, just incredible, and Xbox. What do we think about JBL, though, getting in the mix of this?
I mean, him as an authority figure I like, but at the same time, I'm kind of confused about his role. Like, I haven't really seen him do much, bro. What up, Ferg? I haven't really seen him do much. It's like, I don't know what his role really is other than, like, this kind of, like, fly-by-night authority figure who randomly clotheslines people. Am I wrong? Help me out.
I feel like, but you had to have done that for a reason. Don't tell me you just brought JBL out and then you're like, that was it, guys. Do. Like, oh, that's it. Thank you guys so much for that. No. I'm going with Kazarian walks out as the champion, and Joe Hendry's going to have to chase him. I don't know how long Joe Hendry's around for, but look at what I'm telling you guys. Nick Nemeth could be gone at the snap of a finger. If someone offers him a little bit more dough and he wants to do it, he's gone. Joe Hendry, he's basically 1 foot out the door. He's training at NXT.
Yeah, he basically is out the door.
He don't care. He don't care no more. So this is a short-term capitalization plan then for TNA.
Yeah, which is why I don't think another reason why I think Joe Hendry will not walk out as champion.
Like I said, there's a lot of people who, if they get the opportunity,
right. You tell me I don't think he'll walk out as champion.
Correct. He might win it and then lose it right away. Exactly. Look at this. Mike Santana. He'll be gone if NXT came calling again. I think Mike Santana's out.
Wow.
That's me personally talking. And I'm just keeping it a stack. Josh Alexander. People are fighting over his services. Trustin Macklin. What did we say? ABC. Look at what they're doing. You got Speedball. If you could keep him, I don't know. I heard rumors he might be a free agent soon too. Matt Cardona's got plans to go. Who's staying? Who are you building this all around? You have to have it planned out, mapped out.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to announce that next week will be the final edition of TNA Impact.
Come on, dude. Don't do that.
I want to thank you guys for your continued support. Meanwhile, here comes Booker T to make an announcement. And then here comes Eric Bischoff, and we want to let everybody know that we're happy. And next week's going to be the last episode of Nitro. Impact.
Here we go. Everybody singing the X Factor song in the chat now.
I got everything I ever wanted, and I'm going to get right back. I know you hate X Factor, but you ain't got to look at me like that. I said you ain't got to look at me like that. What you looking at? Yes.
Joe Hendry wins and loses the same night. Comedy and tragedy, McKinney said.
Oh, my goodness.
Let's see here. BJ says, I believe in Joe Hendry. TNA is getting bought for 2 glizzies and a Philly cheesesteak from the east side of Philly. Come on, Cat. Come on now.
I don't think he's that far off track, man. Maybe a soda. That's about it.
Come on now. We'll see, man. We'll see what's going to happen with some of this.
But I will say that I believe in Joe Hendry because I do. I think he's a talented guy, but I think he's going to turn into this WWE kind of mercenary guy or I think like you said, he has 1.5 feet out the door.
Can I say this? He mentioned we got to make sure we get John Cena in here. Bruv, what are we talking about? Getting John, sell TNA right now. Yeah. I don't need you promoting WWE. He's talking about being in the Royal Rumble. I just think priorities are mixed up right now. At least if I'm TNA and what I'm expecting and wanting from him. That's just me talking.
100%. It's not just you. You're 100% right.
Let's get into the breaking news that we had talked about earlier. Samantha Irvin. She has announced that she's leaving. That's the quote that's right up there.
I'll read it if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
WWE Universe. This is Samantha Irvin to her fans. WWE Universe. It's my time. My time has come to an end as your Monday Night Raw ring announcer. I love you all tremendously, and this does not mark the end of my art. I have a lifetime more to share. Thank you to every WWE fan who accepted me. To the women's locker room, you are the most incredible group of people on the face of the earth. I am beyond proud to be your colleague and friend. To the crew and cameramen, I can't thank you enough for the encouragement, the laughs. You created such a wonderful, positive atmosphere for me. Love you all. That is a quote from Samantha Irvin, now the former ring announcer that was on her way to superstardom, but has decided to call it a career, at least a WWE career, that is.
Yeah. So
she got everything she ever wanted, and she's not gonna get right back.
I know you hate Ricochet, but he's gonna be right back.
There you go, brother. There you go.
Kanosuke, what you looking at?
That's
it. Hilarious.
Yep.
I guess I can give my thoughts here on this first, and then I'll let Sean delve into it because I'm gonna have to step away for a moment. So this is gonna be the Sean show for probably 5 minutes.
No problem.
Here's what I'll say. I don't think that it's a conclusion that she was going to AEW. I know a lot of people assume that today. We just found out well, maybe not. Maybe that's not what's gonna happen. Great, fine and dandy, cool. We could definitely do that. But I think she's going to pursue something in music. Think of the things that she was last doing. She did the national anthem at the Oakland Raiders game.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think that there's a lot of good stuff that can be happening for her. That's my prediction on it. Sean, I'm going to give you the solo screen, and then you go to work on this conversation and chat. Feel free. Let Sean know so that he's got some stuff to work with here.
So my thing is this, when I think about Samantha Irvin, she took the WWE by storm. There's no question about that. I'm thoroughly impressed by her. I think we all are, right, guys? So at the end of the day, we have to look at her career and say it was a success. Has she reached, Howard Finkel status? I would say no, but she was well on her way. That's not to cast any dispersions on Samantha Irvin. She was fantastic. We're talking about Earl Hebner, the referee. Talking about Howard Finkel, the greatest ring announcer of all time, right? So wrestling, that is. So it's one of those things where it's like, yo, I don't know if she reached that status, but she was definitely on her way. My biggest thing is this, like I was saying when we opened up the show, guys. I'm all about love, relationships. It's a beautiful thing. But to me, business is business and romance is romance. There is no reason that's conceivable in my mind, unless Samantha Irvin has signed a major record deal and is about to go on tour with like Taylor Swift. I'm just throwing Taylor Swift out there because she's a major artist in the world right now. And actually, Samantha Irvin's a fan of hers. Unless there's something really big in the works where she's going to go on tour with Chris Brown or, like I said, Taylor Swift or something like that, there is no reason to leave World Wrestling Entertainment. Look, guys, nobody is a bigger detractor of World Wrestling Entertainment. Nobody is a bigger person that will sit up here and call WWE out for their crap more than me. But WWE is the standard as it relates for her for professional wrestling as it relates to an entertainment entity, right? So for me, her deciding to leave the company is very eyebrow raising, and it definitely makes me scratch my head. Now, is it fair for us? And I see there's a couple of people in the chat, Cactus, Deanna, whoever, a couple of people who have said, who mentioned Ricochet. Is it fair to assume she's leaving WWE because of Ricochet? It's not unfair. It's not unfair. It's not unfair to think that perhaps she's leaving World Wrestling Entertainment after a few months of Ricochet not being there and realizing that she no longer wants to be there because she'd rather be closer to her boyfriend, her fiance. Doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to join AEW. A lot of people are saying she's not going to join AEW, but that doesn't mean that she wouldn't possibly be on the road with him or possibly have more of an opportunity to be with him, right? I'm going on the record right now. Samantha Irvin has the chance to be one of the greatest entertainers of our time. She is that good. She is that good. She's beautiful. She's charismatic. She's intelligent. She can sing. She's an entertainer. It goes across the board. This woman is absolutely fantastic. And you mean to tell me that when you're on the top of your game, when you are literally the most recognizable face as it relates to an announcer in the entire company. I mean, you guys got to think about this and let me know in the chat if I'm right. She literally took like 3 announcers' jobs. Like literally. Like Mike Rome, I don't even remember who that is. Like, it's like, didn't they send him down to NXT? I mean, didn't they send him down to NXT? It was like he was doing Monday Night Raw. Samantha Irvin comes in, kicks the doors down, and all of a sudden Mike Rome is down in NXT. It's nuts. But it makes sense because at the end of the day, as Conrad makes his return, welcome back, bro, she is that good. But we just have to figure out and realize, hey, listen, as much as Sean is an advocate of romance and love and black love and love in general, I just hope that this ultra talented, multi-faceted superstar has not made a career decision based on a relationship.
I don't think it was about that. If you guys have seen her though, I always saw that she wanted to be a singer. What was it? America's Got Talent? Was that the show she was on? And
I said while you were out, I was like, unless she has already signed a deal, like a record deal, that's the only thing that would make sense to me. Unless she has a guarantee to open up for Taylor Swift or Chris Brown, that's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Could be. And we don't know what level it'll be at, but it's probably something that she's like, I have to try it. You could always come back to she's made enough of an impact on WWE. What's her best call? Like, what's your favorite Howard Finkel? Honestly, probably any Ann New. Both Bret Hart and Lex Luger's feet touched at the same time.
The winner of the 1994 WWF Royal Rumble presented by Karate Fighters.
Yo, I had those. Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
I mean, and new is really good, and also and still is really good. I think the end still is pretty hard as well.
I think her Cody call will be the most memorable one.
Yeah, I think her Cody call was cool. I'm not really a big fan of the Cody call. I like the Jey Uso call better, but that's just me being partial. Look, McKinney makes a good point. She might be pregnant. You know, in that case, God bless you. She might be getting ready for the wedding, he says. I think the musical career was on the way anyway. That's what makes this weird to me. That's what I'm saying. You know what? I'm gonna go with she got a record deal. We're gonna find out in 6 months that she's about to drop her album. That's the only thing I can think of.
I'ma always want you and nobody wants you. If I had my love will still haunt you.
That's it. That's it.
Shout out to Mace. I think Samantha will be remembered for her emotional announcement. See Cody and the new WWE Championship. Yes. Samantha did let them tell her results so she could experience. Yeah, I would never want to know the results if I was watching wrestling as well. I don't know if you would feel the same. Like if you're an announcer, Sean, do you want to know who wins so you can prepare for the call, or are you like, no, don't tell me?
Yeah, I mean, I would think so.
Yeah, I would rather not know. Oh, men telling her what to do, not the men in the chat. Yeah, she can do whatever she wants.
Yeah, I mean, I wish the girl well. I wish the young lady well. I just hope that she's doing what she wants to do for her.
I think so. As
long as she's doing what she wants to do for herself, I have no problem with anything she does because I think she's a megastar.
Rumor is Lillian Garcia will be on Raw tonight, so we'll see.
Interesting.
I find it very, very interesting. Where is Raw tonight, Sean? Do you know? Let me see. I think I have the list pulled up here. If you want to go to WWE, they may be in your local area. So make sure you check it out. Can't say we're biased over here. I put up all the locations for WWE. So if you're in, let me see. We're past South Carolina. We're in Brooklyn, New York, coming up on Friday. Tonight, Raw's in Philadelphia. I won't read through the rest of these. Buffalo 11-8. Someone send tickets for me if you got them because I'm not paying those crazy prices. But speaking of Philadelphia, what a coinky dink, Sean. WWE has booked for the ECW, aka now known as the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia. They are going to do an NXT taping there for the November 6th show, which they are avoiding Election Day. I ain't mad at them for it. They're going head-to-head with AEW, and be prepared, brother. That day it's going to be Paul Heyman's back, Mikey Whipwreck going up against Metaphor. Do-do-do. EC-Dub. I'm sure there'll be some kind of theme for that show, but I told people, I just remember when they used to call it a bingo hall. Funny. Not a bingo hall anymore, huh?
Yeah, now it's someplace you want to do NXT. They're such hypocrites, bro.
I mean, it's just the company philosophy as a whole. It's like, come on, dude. Come on, guys. Be better. Like, it's just the older fans in us. We don't forget. I remember those things. Like, those things stung. Like, you put ECW down because of that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. But they'll be doing that. Good for them. I would imagine it's going to be some type of ECW influence, or do you think it's too far removed and people are going to be like, nah?
You know, I think they'll do. I think they're corny enough to just don't.
Who would you like to see? Like, if you're booking the show, Sean Hubbard's in the creative room with Lee Fitting, Shawn Michaels, Paul Levesque, hashtag Credit Boys. Shout out to Grapsody and whoever originally thought of that. I know they said they took it from someone. Credit Boys in the building. What do you do?
I have special appearances all night long. Paul Heyman, Tommy Dreamer, Rob Van Dam, the whole 9 yards. Welcome to the ECW arena.
RVD versus Javon Evans, maybe, or a tag team match. Javon Evans and RVD versus
I think tag will be smarter just to protect them, just in case.
I think you got to do some kind of segment. I think Rob said this before. You got to get Nunzio in there with the Don of NXT. You got to do something with them, I think, as well.
Right.
Let me see here. I'll laugh if TK on November 6th books Sandman and has Enter Sandman playing. I don't know what TK does to combat this. I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
I just don't like the fact that they're going head to head with it. It's like they don't have to do this, but they're doing it. Yeah, I don't know. I think they were worried about getting crushed on that night.
11/11, I'll be in the house 100%. It's not the ticket prices, it's the taxes and fees. My tickets were $76, but after taxes, it's $111. But it's my birthday gift to myself. Should NXT book Shane Douglas? I would like for them to, but I don't think they will. Maybe Triple H is nicer too. Maybe he didn't have beef with Dean Douglas like his friends did.
Intercontinental Champion Dean Douglas.
For a night, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, it was fun. Spike Dudley. I wouldn't mind seeing Spike.
Get the tables.
The boss, Spike Dudley. More news coming from the land of WWE. I'm going to summarize this one pretty simple. Rumor has it, and this will be for the sports fans in here, WrestleMania London might not be top priority anymore for Wembley. It sounds like they may be getting a Super Bowl. I don't know how I feel about that. Top dollar to go for a Super Bowl to London, but
look, I mean, the initiative in the NFL with this, this international flavor they got. They just completed their London series. They're about to start a Germany series. They're trying to go international. So what's the best way to make it happen? That's to put the biggest show on earth, the Super Bowl, which is still the biggest show on earth, contrary to what WWE wants to say, in London.
Interesting. That's Live Nation prices, somebody said. It gets bad, man. I'd like to see them bring Raven back. I'd love to see Raven come back, too. I like Raven. I'm a big fan. All right, Sean, this is where we're going to get into our weird segment, kind of, sort of. Not really. Yes, no, maybe. We put product and placement on here. Me and Sean had a interesting back and forth. I'm going to let Sean frame it, but let me just pull this out here first, this picture. Well, bam! Shout out to SE Scoops for that and Russell Votes for the news. 3-hour Raw and SmackDown. So Raw and SmackDown will both be 3 hours starting in January. Now, I've heard Raw, they're trying to fine-tune it because I don't think Raw has to be 3 hours every week. I think you can say like 2 hours and 40 minutes this week. How about we just do 210 this week? How about we do 150 this week? We don't need all that. We got into a debate. I've been having this debate with some of our other friends. Shout out to Narcolepsy Boy 94, Malik. We went back and forth about this. I like the 2-hour Raw so far. I like being able to go to bed at a nice time. Not so much that I'm reviewing the shows, but I appreciate the flow of it a little bit better. It's not as exhausting versus before. We'd watch it. I told you, 9:15. Derek usually looks over. Oh, my goodness, dude. There's still almost 2 hours left of the show. So it would be rough sometimes.
I have no issue with 3-hour Monday Night Raw. I don't see a problem with it. I see a problem with the product. I said this to you over the weekend, and I'm saying to the chat right now. WWE's problem is not having too much programming. WWE's problem is having programming that sucks. Let's just wake up and realize, okay, at the end of the day, like you need to fill that 3 hours better. The example I give that I've always given is what WWE did a couple years ago when Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso just defeated Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, and they opened up at Madison Square Garden. I was out there. I was at that show. And it was like a 45-minute Bloodline segment. There was nothing wrong with that. Some people think promos shouldn't be that long. That was like the Bloodline was in the ring from 8 o'clock to like 8:41. And it was awesome. It was awesome. If you could put together a show that's entertaining, then do so. Give the guys and girls in the back the opportunity to showcase their talents. But if you're going to have Ivar versus Tozawa, yes, 3 hours is going to seem like an eternity. 2 hours is going to seem like an eternity. 1 hour would seem like an eternity if it's a crappy product. It needs to be a better product. If the product was better, there would be no complaints. No complaints at all. Okay, you don't want to go to bed at 11 o'clock. You'd rather go to bed at a decent hour. Okay, fine. But that's what DVR is for. At the end of the day, this brand, this entity known as World Wrestling Entertainment has enough firepower in their chamber to make a 3-hour show awesome. They just not have done it. And unfortunately, since they haven't done it, that's what makes people say, hey, I wish it wasn't 3 hours. Hey, it's too long. Well, you know what? It probably is too long when you have Karrion Kross telling Xavier Woods he needs to leave Kofi Kingston alone. It probably is too long.
Huh? Week 6 of this.
Right. Exactly. It probably is too long of a show to see, these mediocre talents, or I should say great talents, put in mediocre situations. How many more times can we see R-Truth and Miz banter back and forth? How many more times can we see these mid-card guys being underutilized? I mean, for God's sakes, they made it seem like the War Raiders coming back last week was a big deal. The crowd reaction was nothing. The War Raiders came out and was like, oh, the War Raiders are back. Cool. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. It's not about it being 3 hours. It's about the product not being up to par. When the War Raiders came out, it was like, oh, that's right. They have been gone for a few months. Oh, I guess they're back. That was the reaction. Were you excited to see the War Raiders get back together? It was like they were trying to make it. God bless Michael Cole. And excuse me, not Michael Cole. God bless Wade Barrett and Tessitore. They were trying to make it sound good. Oh my God, the War Raiders are back together. Nobody cared.
You ever have Michael Cole moments listening to Tessitore? I'm probably one of the people who usually say I have like harsh moments for him where I'm like, dude, this sounds like Michael Cole speak. It's just with a different voice.
Right. I mean, I've heard that too, but I think Tessitore is doing a halfway decent job.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
So to me, it's all about the content, man. There's nothing wrong with a 3-hour You know what? Give me a 30-minute match. That's awesome. Give me, I don't care if it's a long promo, as long as it's good. Give me suspense. Give me drama. Give me romance. Give me 20 minutes of the Judgment Day. Give me Rhea Ripley uninterrupted for 5 minutes. Give me Kevin Owens where he's not interrupted 3 minutes or 2 seconds into 2 seconds into trying to start his promo, but for some reason security escorts him out the building. It's stupid. It's stupid. So again, it's not about the time duration. It's about the content. WWE has not put on a good show. Last week's so because Raw was 2 hours last week, it was better. It wasn't better. It wasn't better. It was shorter.
Yeah, I'll take shorter though. I mean, that's just me talking though. I think the 3-hour Raws were so bad for so long, Sean, that I begged for this, and I'm not backpedaling. Like, I'm not backpedaling away from this. It's not good. I mean, you re-signed Natalya just to have her. We went right back to doing those matches. Oh, Sean, I'm about to go off. Okay, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to go off. I'm going to go off for a second. You got Candice LeRae, who's the Speed champion. She already wrestles in 3-minute matches on SmackDown. What's the difference? Mm-hmm. Put the title on the show. What are we doing here? Like, I don't get it. And I'm not trying to say that to be mean. I'm not trying to say that to be disrespectful. But if you're not going to give them the time, what are we doing? Do you really need the 3 hours if you're just going to meander through it? Do you really need it? Like you said, I didn't go back and even watch Ivar and Eric. I think I was editing our show while that happened because I didn't see it even. I was like, oh, I must have missed it. I did. And it's not that I'm trying to be mean. It's just, okay, whatever. We go through this whole rigmarole, and you mentioned romance and all that stuff. Haven't they been giving us that? And now, is it too much? Like, are you going to be bored with another love story if they do it on Raw? They've done one with Dominic already.
Certain things on repeat don't mess up. Certain things don't mess up on repeat. Certain things do, but romance storylines never mess up. They never mess up. You know what? You're going to laugh at this. I thought Mandy Rose and Otis was entertaining.
I like that storyline.
There was nothing wrong with that. That was fun. And you know what? Otis was so good, and the storyline was so good, Otis won Money in the Bank. That's how you make stars. That's how you put people in positions to succeed. You put them in storylines that are compelling, that make people want to watch. And then when they start selling T-shirts, you give them championships. That's how it's supposed to work.
I just questioned. I had to ask Rob this week, or no, it was today, I think. I asked, where did the Wyatt Six go? And someone said that they're doing something with The Miz. But like I said, I haven't been watching Raw like consistently enough lately to see it. But I feel like I've seen more of Gable's crew, American Made, than I see them now.
And let me ask you this. You want to talk about the Wyatt Six? You want the Wyatt Six to be recognized as a main event entity, right? Then why are they chasing after The Miz? That's the question. They should be going after Jey Uso. They should be going after Cody Rhodes. How about, I don't know, here's something that's wild and never could possibly be done on WWE television. How about a change in character for Gunther? How about the Wyatt Six attack him? Do something to make us care. I didn't care that the Wyatt Six, I'll take that back. When the Wyatt Six came back, it was cool. And you can ride off of the fact that they're newly coming back. That's enough of a cool factor for them to deal with the Alpha Academy. No problem. Or Chad Gable and the American-made crew. No problem. But now that they're back, if you want us to take them seriously, they need to be attacking someone of substance. Why aren't they attacking, I don't know, Braun Strowman? Don't they have a history with Braun Strowman? Right? Doesn't that make sense?
And he's out injured. And that's going to be the other half of this with the comparison to AEW. I hear about all these flips and destroyers and how people are going to get hurt from other people. Braun Strowman's out hurt. You can get hurt doing simple things in it's pro wrestling. I'm not saying that to say, oh, they don't risk their lives. Absolutely, the wrestlers do. But we're not going to sit up here and say, like, that's very dangerous. And then meanwhile, the guy who runs around like a choo-choo train got hurt. Come on, man. Like, people get hurt in this business. I'm not trying to say, like, oh, it's super crazy that they're doing these things. And I get it. Oh, maybe there's more risk for that. These guys are professionals, though. I don't think they're going to be taking moves that they don't. You know how people usually get hurt, Sean? It's the suplex that I landed wrong on. It's the body slam that I landed wrong on. And I don't want to see anybody get hurt. That's not what I'm saying this point for. It's stop letting people make stupid comparisons online. Stop doing this. Let's push AEW down. Oh, it was something bad on WWE? That was because Vince did it a long time ago. Or, excuse me, I shouldn't even dignify him. Gomez did that a long time ago, so it was his fault. Everything ain't his fault. Me and Sean have been doing this since Triple H took over. Oh, I know. Vince was really running it, though, from the back. That's fine and dandy. Triple H is going to have to eat some of this bad stuff eventually, right? The day's going to have to come. Giovanni Vinci says hello, everyone. Some people are irreparable. He can't do anything with Nakamura. Oh, we kept AJ Styles on the shelf too long. Look at what happened. Oh, shucks. Yep. Like, come on, dude. You gotta hold him accountable at some point for some of this stuff. And no, he's not the one in the ring hurting people or whatever. But you gotta say, like, yo, bro, are we gonna do something with them or not? Right. What's Nakamura doing? What is he doing?
Certainly not on television.
He's about to have a match in Noah. Let me go back to this real quick before I go off on my next thing. The Rock, This Is Your Life segment was super long, but still one of WWE's best segments. Rating wise, yes. Do I put that in like, this is how you do a great segment? You can pancake yourself on down too then, all right? How about that? All right? Nobody is thinking of that segment as like, that was so great. I don't remember those. I remember Sunday Night Heat promos more than that. I don't know. This Is
Your Life was pretty awesome, and that was like 45 minutes.
It was good. I just don't think it was like, I think it just happened to be on during a great crossover time. A lot of people were watching wrestling at that time. Cool. It was great. But let's not start down. I think people down the wrestling, Sean, a lot now. It's like, oh, where's the story? I'll take storytelling over this. What? Isn't this all storytelling? Like, isn't the match storytelling? Isn't
well, like I said, the only thing I can really go on, because it's kind of like my go-to. It's always my, in my back pocket. The Usos, Solo, and Roman were in the ring for like 40 minutes, and it was awesome. It works as long as it makes sense. It works as long as it's entertaining. The whole, it's too long of a promo. Not if it's fun. Not if it's entertaining. Not if it makes sense.
If you can carry it, there's not many who could. The Rock is a perfect example. He would come out there. Yo, he controlled the crowd. Rocky. And I'm like, yo, how did this dude do this? Like, he controls what people say, what they cheer for. He was one of the coolest of all time on the microphone. Meanwhile, I don't see anybody remembering or bragging about Dusty Rhodes going to get the Nasty Boys to join his team at Fall Brawl. Nasty Dream, if you will. Like, come on, man. Come on. Don't give me more of that. Give me more of this. So
well, look, when you talk about people who can carry long promos, CM Punk can, Drew McIntyre can, Seth Rollins can. Obviously Rock when he's here, Cody Rhodes sometimes, but he's a little
Heyman.
Heyman can. There's a few people that can carry long promos. The bloodline as a whole can. There, you can get a good look, and that's a half hour of television, and it's fun, and it's entertaining. I don't need 5-star quality matches all week. All along. It's supposed to be a mix. You know what made WCW awesome? Because you had Juventud Guerrera versus Billy Kidman, followed by an NWO segment, followed by Chris Jericho in the United States Championship match against Dean Malenko. That's what made WCW awesome.
Yeah, the problem is they forgot the people that were helping make it awesome while they were trying to satisfy the people who were already at the top.
That's another conversation.
I know, but I'm just pointing it out.
Right.
Well, what happened to them? Because I know someone's saying that while they're listening to this.
Yeah, exactly.
McKinney says 3 hours, yes, but the commercial breaks hurt the matches. It doesn't flow, but I understand they're filling a lot of mid-card story, but it's great for the main eventers to shine brighter. 3 hours is a delicate balance. 2 hours is better. 3 stretches too much. I would love to see Natalya let loose in AEW like Shelton is starting to look like. We're going to get to that as well here in a second and get Sean's thoughts. Otis won Money in the Bank, eh? Yeah, they took it away from him. Malik Murray says the Y6 should not go after the titles. Speed Championship only exists on Twitter. It's its own universe. Don't bring that belt to TV. I'd rather them give Indy Hartwell a chance. That's the problem with The Fiend. Wyatt 6 versus the Final Testament and The Miz. It's shameful that Shinsuke isn't being used. Yeah, I'm hurt. Triple H's favorite Japanese promotion, Noah.
I like that. That's funny.
I remember Velocity promos. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. If it's good, it's good. Classic Sunday Night Heat promo. Dear God, it's me, Billy.
Bob.
It doesn't matter what your name is. I agree. Some Shotgun Saturday Night moments are more entertaining than 3 hour Raw. Let me ask you this. In the last, how long was Raw 3 hours? 12 years. Mm-hmm. Tell me, like, I don't want to say because you're going to name everything from here. Tell me anything between 2019 and 2012. Tell me your favorite Raw episodes. I got Punk in the Pipe Bomb. Oh, no, that was in 11. That was before they decided to do it.
Right.
What's your...
Okay.
Danielson maybe with the Wyatts in the cage. That was cool, kind of. Or him taking over Raw.
DX reunion.
Yeah, Raw 1000 or what was it? 2000. I don't know where we're at.
Yeah, whatever.
It was specialty ones, bro. There ain't that many. If we're sitting here thinking there was 7 years,
it's not many. No.
If you go, Sean, what was the best Raw in 1994? Give me Bret Hart versus the 1-2-3 Kid #1 contendership Raw right now. How can we remember that?
They flow.
Yeah. Sean, what was the best Monday Night Raw in 1998 in your opinion?
DX, Shawn Michaels, Mike Tyson joining DX.
See. Conrad, best Raw of 1997. Screwed ain't the word for it. Bret Hart pushes Vince down. We remember that. I don't do that with Raw anymore. Maybe I'm an old head. Maybe that's what it is. I don't think so, bro. I think it's not as compelling as it once was. But maybe times have changed for a different generation.
I wish Raw was 3 hours back in the 90s. How about that?
Oh man. T-Ferg says, hey, hard disagree, but nothing makes me change the channel quicker than when I see someone in the middle of the ring with a mic, especially if there's a football game on. Prefer quick NWA-style promos. Best of 98 when Foley won the title, or was it 99? It was end of 98.
It was going in. January 99.
December.
Was it?
Or did they show it?
You're right. December 98.
Yeah, that was the last one. Yo, Adrian, I did it. Wearing the Job Squad shirt underneath.
Yep.
Good old Foley.
It was me, Austin. It was me all along. Oh, son of a...
Sean, do you hear that noise?
I hear it.
It's the Rat-a-tat-tat Boys.
Let's go.
That's what I'm calling them from now on. Motor City. I don't know what that song was that they gave them. I'm trying to be respectful to Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. I have mixed feelings on this debut. I'm happy for them because they deserve this as a tag team, as people who probably had their style swagger jacked by a lot of people who are on the main roster today and in AEW and other places around the world. Motor City Machine Guns were those boys. If you've never seen Motor City Machine Guns, go watch them versus Beer Money, Team 3D. We could go on and on. Just go watch them in TNA and put in the best stuff.
Singles and tag team, 100%.
Yeah, and if you don't know, they've got some good stuff. Like I said, Shelley with Kevin Nash and Paparazzi Productions, Chris Sabin, all-time great X Division champion. You could put in any match with him and AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels and have a good time. But what did you think of the debut of the Motor City Machine Guns? They debuted in a social media post.
It was mid.
It was different. I was just like, oh, okay.
It was mid. It was mid. It was not a debut worthy of those two gentlemen and their prowess as professional wrestlers.
Yeah, just odd, man, how they ended up doing it. McKinney mentioned Nexus, yeah. And that was in 2010, brother.
We walk alone in the unknown. We got all the soundtrack today.
Lower the boom. Oh my goodness! Look at people putting in their favorites. You know what I'm not seeing in for favorite Raw moments? Nothing from I don't see anything.
Good point. Good point.
Leaking it on Twitter was weak. Their debut was a nice commercial break broken up by their match. Ooh.
Wow.
That's E for you.
Savagery.
Matt says, who the heck thought Rat-a-tat-tat? Who was listening to some 1950s and 60s music, bro? I saw that shirt and I was like, that is corny. Get that off that shirt right now.
Corny AF.
How did you feel about they came out, it was like,
it was pathetic. I was not impressed. It was not worthy of them as a tag team. They're much better than that. I'm sure they didn't like it, honestly. Don't worry, dude. It's gonna be great.
What do you think happened? So they won their number one contendership. I was more interested in the Street Profits actually kind of getting the old shaftaroo, we'll say, in their match where they had the pinfall as well. And they're like, you weren't the legal person. And I think Montez was. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at it. But it looked like
Montez Ford is getting real close to getting fed up. That's what I think. And I think Montez Ford might do something.
Well, they might be trying to salvage them at this point. Like, let's give them something to do. Maybe we'll turn them heel or something. But next week,
don't know.
On Smack Dizzle, though, we get DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns. I'm sure Hunter was like, give them that takeover style match. And I know everyone's like, be happy for them. Don't be like this, Conrad. Please don't. I'll tell you this. And I'm going to say this 100% honestly. They could have had the Motor City Machine Guns. They could have had them. Yeah. Remember, Alex Shelley was in the Dusty Classic.
Yep.
With Kushida. Time Splitters.
Long time ago.
We're good over here, dude. Lee, what do you think? No one else helped us write the show. Like, okay.
Well, Stephanie, I just don't think he has what it takes.
Brother, I don't know. What do you think here? What you're booking this? Do you have Motor City? I assume wins this, right?
Motor City definitely wins, and then
do you give them the tag titles in their third match or fourth match?
They're gonna lose the match because of some outside interference by the Bloodline.
I wouldn't. Well, I have thoughts. Did I put Raw stuff in here? Let's throw the Raw thing in here right now. Main event's probably going to be Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker. At least that's what I'm main eventing Raw.
So predictable what's going to happen in this match.
So you think this is the end already?
This is the end. No problem. I'm cool with it. This is the end. This is going to set up. People don't realize Solo and Cody Rhodes are scheduled for a street fight tonight after the show goes off the air. So the Bloodline are going to be in the building.
Why would they be on Raw? Just saying, sorry, I yelled it when Jay came out too. I know the fans were happy for him, but I was like, what draft, guys? What draft? Well, it was because Cody invited Gunther this week, so that's okay. And I'm like, who invited Jay? I thought he didn't like them.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Jay's going to lose the title tonight, and that's fine. He got his moment in the sun. Hopefully one day he'll be world champion if he continues the momentum, but that's a story for a different day. The Bloodline's in the building. Like I said, off the air for a match that's only going to be seen by the people in Philly. It's going to be Solo versus Cody in a street fight. So my point in bringing that up is that the Bloodline will be in the building. The Bloodline will interfere. And Braun Breaker will be the next Intercontinental Champion. And Jey Uso, because he's angry at the Bloodline interfering, will join forces with his twin brother and his cousin.
I think also I could see Jey Uso costing them the tag titles. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, you got me? I got you.
Okay, well, that's cool, too. I like that.
I'm just saying.
Which would mean that the Motor City Machine Guns would be the new tag team champions.
That's what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
That they win them because of that.
I swear they should let us write the shows.
It only took 15 minutes, Lee. No, go ahead. Put your names on it. Clash of the Podcast doesn't need to be on it. Go ahead.
Exactly. But yeah, so tonight.
Put Sean's name. Put Sean's name.
As a matter of fact, I almost guarantee it. I'm going to say almost. But I almost guarantee Jey Uso loses the title due to bloodline interference.
Matt might have my favorite new one. Hashtag what draft. Hashtag what brand split. Hashtag who cares anymore. I guess not.
Every show is a Raw or SmackDown Super Show.
All they did was show their backside when Jey Uso came out. Them fans went nuts. And I'm like, y'all sure you want to take the title off him tonight?
I don't think they should, but I think they will. But the bottom, I told you, am I man?
You got time.
Am I a man of my word or not? I've been fine. Now that he's been champion, you can take it off him tomorrow for all I care. But tonight, I think is the night. I think Braun Breaker gets it back, and I think he's going to hold it for a while.
Also, with Jay joining back with Roman and Jimmy, then Sammy gets worked in after what Crown Jewel could be. Jey Uso retains from interference from his family. They were trying to make Jay lose. So, someone says that they do it, run it back at Saudi, then Jay loses.
I don't think Jay's going to be on the Saudi show. Jay doesn't wrestle on pay-per-view.
Who knows what to do when Crown Jewel's got all this happening? Cody Rhodes invited Gunther to SmackDown next week to say, Gunther, why does winning the Crown Jewel title mean something to you? It was the first time where I was like, yeah, Sean might be right about these promos.
I told you. What is this? It's corny.
What is this, bro? Let's flip back over here to other things real quick. We're going to try and wrap this up. I feel bad. AEW usually gets the short end of the stick here, but
not today. We talked a lot about AEW.
We did. We bumped him in and out. TNA got some love, too. I think we were balanced today.
Yeah.
Sources within AEW New Japan. I'm lying about that balance thing, too. I just thought of the time frames in my head. I'm totally lying. Sources within AEW New Japan told Fightful Select that they expect protections to be put in place moving forward to prevent talent from immediately jumping to WWE after working with AEW New Japan shows after the Stephanie McCurr signing. Sean, we got into this a little bit. What do you think here?
I think AEW should do what they have to do to protect themselves, because it does look like WWE is kind of pillaging talent from, the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, where they come in, somebody like, Stephanie comes in, has her match, is on a world stage like AEW, and then just bounces and goes to NXT or WWE. So that, to me, you have to put something in place. You have to put provisions in place to protect yourself. If that means a 3-month no compete, if that means it's a 1-day contract or a 1-week contract so you can do your build up at Dynamite, get to the pay-per-view, and then go on about your business, fine. But you're not going to just walk in my company, get a major spot on my pay-per-view, and I'm talking about a major spot on my pay-per-view, and then just take your talents to Tampa, Florida. Like, it's not going to happen. You need to make sure that you have a no compete, even for these short-term contracts.
Yeah, I think that would be that would be great in the world that they live in. I have an argument over the independent contractor status of pro wrestlers. Do I think that they check? This is business me. Sorry for a second. Do I think that they check all the boxes of being independent contractors? No, I think they should be employees. But employees then would come with deals like this, and that's when I think they should be implemented. That's Conrad Personal speaking. WWE and AEW make enough money to where I think they can give people insurance and let's do the right thing here. I know they'd have this if it was a union, but whatever. We're not going to get into all that stuff right now. I get that they're trying to put some protections on themselves. I heard people say, oh, if WWE did this, it'd be a problem. You know, WWE added time to Sheamus's contract after he got hurt last, right? Like, I just want people to remember this stuff. So
you're talking facts, bro.
Take that hollering over there too. Like, I get it. You want to yell at Tony? Yell at Tony. Things to yell at Tony about, but I have to give Tony props. He has been advertising upcoming shows. I noticed that on Rampage and Collision this week. They had graphics and moving things. We're going to be in Rhode Island this week. And it's got BCC behind them, like doing moves and beating people up. We're going to be in Boston. Here's Mercedes Moné behind them, like doing the taunts and stuff. I liked it. I have to give props when they do something good that we've been talking about. Instead of just Excalibur reading, we'll be live at blah, 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 blah. We'll be in New Hampshire next week. Make sure you join AEW Dynamite. Now we've got video. So you got visual, you've got audio, you've got social media. I don't want to hear that they're not advertising stuff. People are making the choice not to go. John Moxley, I don't know if that's a booger or what, but that's pretty gnarly. The zoom in that's right here. I wanted to talk real quick about AEW storyline and that stuff that people have asked for, and they got it, and now they're not being patient for it. This is the placement of the product. You are putting BCC, if that's even their name, maybe their paradigm shift. I don't know what they're going to call them, but they're in place, Sean. And I've heard people still do nothing but complain. It's not fair. I'm upset with the stories. And I heard that a lot this week from big YouTubers. And I was like, what?
Yeah, what is your issue?
What is the problem with the show? Like, okay, I see they're going through a reset right now. The Outrunners lost this week. That doesn't make any sense. It's okay. Here's the thing. You can't push Outrunners and Private Party to the same championships. Only one of them is going to win the championships. We're not going to be ping, ping, poom, poom, ricochet, poom, poom. Like, we're not going to be doing that with the belts. So who do you want to have beat the Young Bucks? The Young Bucks aren't getting beat like they're doo-doo butter. I heard everyone complain they wanted Private Party to win. Now I'm hearing, what are we doing with the Outrunners? Just check the complaints that you're saying with some.
And be fair. Be fair.
What do you say? Who are you putting the tag titles on? If it's up to you, Outrunners or Private Party?
I think Private Party, if they don't break them up.
Nothing wrong with rewarding loyalty, folks. You've been here from day one. We said we believed in you. This is your chance. Show me. Do something. Make it happen.
And I think it can happen as early as Full Gear.
Outrunners could be the Ring of Honor tag champs and do something.
Exactly. And make the Ring of Honor tag titles mean more than what they do right now.
Absolutely. I'm just putting it out there.
Stars make belts. Belts don't make stars.
I
hate to say it, but John Cena made that United States Championship mean something when it didn't for a long time.
Am I an employee or an independent contractor until they clarify that? Bounce when you want. Yeah, that's how it should be. I like AEW advertising ahead. Actually, McKinney, that would be tough to do, but like I said, they don't bring their own materials to it. You can't run a wrestling show without a stage, right? I don't want to get super deep into it. Like, I can go through the things that make you an independent contractor, but find the list, do the check boxes, and tell me if it pans out to you. TNA's owned by Anthem, MLW, GCW might have to step up if wrestlers become employees. Might have to pony up some bread and then hire independent contractors to come in.
Absolutely.
To put them over. But I think that they've done a tremendous job right now with this Moxley storyline. It's building intrigue. I don't know how you feel about it. Are you interested in this, Sean? Have they done enough?
I'm very interested. I think the reveal is going to be huge when whoever it is, when the higher power becomes revealed.
Does it have to be Shane? Because some people are saying, like, they haven't. No one has promised anyone Shane McMahon. I just want to say that. Like, people are saying that, and I'm like, no one's mentioned it.
I think it should be Shane or Edge. That's what I think either one of those guys would make an impact. I think if it's Shane, it would be global. I think if Adam Copeland is the guy, I think it would register on the Richter scale, 100%.
I'm even intrigued by what the Elite did this week. They watched the chaos happen, and I saw people complaining, oh, well, you got the Dork Order out there, Dark Order, whatever you want to call them.
Well, that's the unfortunate part about what we're thinking about. See, Shane McMahon, blockbuster. Adam Copeland, somewhat of a blockbuster. If it turns out that they're just working with the Elite, that's going to be corny.
No, I don't think it is that they're working with the elite. This might be we need to step up. Maybe we shouldn't have did what we did to Kenny, and now Kenny's like, well, no, I'm not mad. I think there's a plan here in all of it, is what I'm saying. I actually think Jack Perry fits better with Moxley's group than the elite.
Right. Well, the way he's carrying himself, 100%. But I think it's going to be Shane or Adam Copeland.
Interesting. See, people are saying Shane. We'll see. Larry Sabisco, the dark odor. Funny. It's going to be Gomez. I hope not.
Oh my God. Wow.
Man, talk about turning the TV off. This is the last Dynamite review here on the Everything Pro Wrestling.
Everything, it's over. It's over.
Yeah, I don't think they would do something like that. Speaking of that, we got to talk real quick, Sean. Ain't no stopping me now. Yo, Shelton Benjamin's debut in AEW, bro.
Stop, man. Don't stop. Ain't no stopping, man. Don't stop. Ain't no stopping.
I'll never forget when he beat Triple H. Stinger splash in the corner. Roll up. 1, 2. He got him. Shelton got him.
Tremendous. Wow, really? Triple H actually lost in 2003 or 4?
I'll tell you what happened afterwards. I'll let you guess what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Pedigree. But they did give Shelton a couple dubs.
They cheered a little too hard. Let's bury this guy.
Shelton Benjamin, tremendous debut against Lio Rush. I loved it. I thought he looked great. He looked 10 times better than any of his returns in WWE. The teaming up with Gable, all that. Like, I thought Shelton was good, but I didn't know he was that super kick he gave to Lio Rush. He's that boy still. He still got it.
Extremely talented. He was 20 years ago, and he still is now. Salute to him.
He showed up with $1 million. He looked like $1 million, man. And MVP did great. I said everyone in that segment did great, and I even loved how MVP said, "I was going to come out here and talk and make a statement, but Shelton Benjamin just did that in the ring," and I was like, "Bravo." That's managing someone great 101. I love it. And Lio Rush gets the card put down like the $1 million man with the money, put it in his tights, and then he's looking at it on social media. Like he took a picture of him looking at it.
Right. I remember that. Yeah.
This group has legs to do something.
It has potential.
Did you peep? They gave a card to Mercedes Moné. They even gave a card to Max Caster. Bowen said he didn't want it, but did you notice what Max did?
He was like, wait a minute, you put that card in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
He is the best wrestler alive today.
According to him. He was also the guy who said we don't need Shelton, but I think that's a bit that he's been playing up now.
Yeah, facts.
Maybe this might have some long-term booking happening here. Speaking of long-term, Tony Khan listened to me. I said, Tony, you should start advertising matches again 2 to 3 weeks out. What do you know on Dynamite this week? Hey, heck of a play. Cleveland, Ohio's getting the Fright Night Dynamite. Ooh.
Shout out to Tony Khan. You know you listen.
Hold on, I gotta do the Scott Hall hands. Woo! Fright Night Dynamite. Swerve versus Shelton.
Hair is still perfect.
Come on, dude. Come on now. Camille, Chris Statlander also announced for that show we just found out over the weekend. This should be fun. Statlander's on her crusade to try to take the TBS championship from Mercedes Moné.
No, I'm excited about that.
Nothing wrong with that. This week on Dynamite, which I like that MLP, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, also ran through the Dynamite card for us. We have the ROH World Championship in Ladder War. I think you'll be hearing me possibly rant or cry this week.
Because Chris Jericho is going to win, I think. He lost the pay-per-view, but I think Chris Jericho is going to be the Nueve.
Please don't.
The Nueve.
Don Callis. We'll hear from Kyle Fletcher. He also picked up Brian Cage and Lance Archer, who got a tag win.
All right.
Tony, how's it going? Yeah, we're doing the show. Yeah, the check's clear for me and Sean. We're good.
I love it.
I had to improvise, folks. There's no money. There's no checks, I promise. Queen Aminata versus Camille. I love seeing Queen Aminata on Dynamite. That's a dub. Sean, House of Black going to be making an appearance on Dynamite. We haven't seen them in a while, so I think you got to do something with that, right?
I believe so. You got to make it worth their while, though. 100%. You got to book them right.
Yeah. Sammy Guevara versus Shelton Benjamin on Dynamite's also happening. Should be a good showcase here. I know I think I heard Dave Meltzer, someone complain like, this is like so an older wrestler coming in to put down the young guys, and I'm like, I don't see it as that. I think this is a chance for Sammy to have a good match with Shelton and put Shelton over, but that's just me talking.
I mean, I think Shelton wins. I think the storyline needs to progress in that manner.
Let's be fair. Anyone can super kick Leo across that ring. Come on now. You be nice to Leo Rush.
Not fair just because he's small.
Daniel Garcia and Private Party teaming up to go up against Jack Perry and the Young Bucks in a trios match. That should be good. Salt Lake City, Utah. Go out, get your tickets at the Maverick Center there.
I like Private Party being prominently featured in this match.
Yeah, remember, they're going to forget about them. MVP confirmed that he's also going to be doing GCW Bloodsport. Thank you, Clown. Thank you. Our resident GCW guy, Clown. I love the super kick that Shelton Benjamin, he actually kicked him in the back of the head and just got his face in the way. Love Shelton, but 12 minutes to beat Leo Rush should have been 6. No disrespect to Leo. Shelton is huge.
Yeah.
I think brother wanted to give him something more too, though. I hope Hobbs goes with MVP and Shelton. You could do that. What do you think? TK types up the Finkel report. Will Washington might be doing it. Sammy showed a pic of Shelton and Sammy as a young fan. I did see that when he was the gold standard. Sean, take us out of here, man. We've talked long enough tonight.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff going on in the world of professional wrestling, man. Make sure you check out Monday Night Raw tonight, just because we want to support pro wrestling. We appreciate you guys being a part of the show. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. So big shout out to the chat, everybody. Most definitely big shout out to Samantha Irvin. We wish you well in your future endeavors. We think you're going to be great at whatever you do. Let's keep wrestling moving, man. Obviously, AEW's, like I said, the best bell-to-bell entity, I believe, in the wrestling world right now. WWE has it more from the entertainment side. TNA's on the up-and-coming trail right now. And always remember to support New Japan as well and any other professional wrestling organization, man. GCW, the whole 9 yards. So with that being said, we appreciate you. Conrad, I appreciate you, my brother. We are fired up and continuing to keep the bell ringing and to keep the flavor moving. Make sure you check us out next week, Tuesday. It's going to be Tuesday, a special Tuesday edition of The Clash. We will not be with you next Monday. We will be with you on Tuesday. Tuesday of next week, we will be live for the 113th consecutive episode of Clash of the Podcast without missing any episodes. 113 and hopefully 113 to go, but we're taking it 1 week at a time. Thanking you guys for your support. Conrad, we appreciate you. Chat, we appreciate you. So on behalf of my tag team partner, Conrad Cushman, my name is Sean Hubbard. God bless, be encouraged, and remember, evil never prevails. Until next week, Tuesday, peace.
Notice these guys haven't been on the TV shows either. What do they have in common?
I don't even know.
Put some bald brothers on the shows.
Oh, my God. Lord have mercy.